Okay, I have got the opponent from Hungary. Okay, I'm gonna start with the d4. This is my standard move. d6. Okay, so d6, it can be quite annoying move. It can transpose into the King's Indian, or it also could be something that is called the Old Indian. Let's play maybe c4. e5, so my opponent decided to play the Old Indian defense. Now, if I'm not wrong, I'm supposed to play knight to c3, and in case opponent captures, I can take it back with my queen. Okay, of course I have to move my queen somewhere. I don't want to go to d1. I would rather move my queen into the place that it's already developed. And I'm going to play to d2. I know it's blocking bishop, but my bishop will be developed here. So I don't mind that it's there. And now, if I'm not wrong, the plan is to develop pieces like this. Pawn to e4, bishop to d3, knight to e2. This is the default plan, and later rook to d1. Let's play e4. Okay, I think, can I play this move? I think I can play this move. Bishop g7, bishop b2. Okay, typical Old Indian would be with bishop at e7. In case opponent develops bishop to g7, it's something very similar to the King's Indian this time. Okay, I'm going to develop my bishop to d3. Knight e2. That's my idea. I don't mind if opponent captures that bishop, because that bishop is not doing that much. I mean, you can see that it's restricted by pawns. So I don't mind that much. Even if, of course, if opponent wants to exchange. I'm gonna develop my knight here, castle probably, and probably play f3 to make that pawn stronger. Okay, do I need to be afraid of that pin that appeared here? Probably not. Probably, okay, this move might be a problem in some kind of f5, but this is the reason why I'm gonna develop my knight and unpin. That pawn is no longer pinned. Okay, later I would like to castle probably. And then what? Probably castle, probably f3. Probably I want to bring my rook into the d1, because you can see that the d file is the only half-open file here. And there is a big chance that I'm going to start my attack with knight d5 move. Because most likely I'm going to attack in the middle. Most of my pieces are in the middle. And let's see what opponent is going to do. Very often in the Old Indian, black is trying to push the pawn forward. But I think you can see that it's not something I need to be afraid of. Even if opponent goes here, okay, after this move I can just even take it. Of course, I have to make sure that I'm not going to lose the e4 pawn. Okay, what is the point of this move? So if I castle, probably opponent wants to take my bishop, and now opponent wants to capture here, because now my bishop at b2 is undefended. So I don't want to lose material like this. So what are my options? One option is, no, I don't want to castle, of course. One option is just to play f3 to make sure that that pawn is protected. I told you that I don't mind that opponent captures that. Another option is to move that bishop back, but then my rook is blocked a little bit. So I think I'm gonna play f3. Protecting this pawn. Okay, of course, queen captures back. Now you can see this is a semi-backwards pawn, because that pawn is not protected by anything, and it has got some problems to be pushed forward. But probably the reason my opponent wants to do something on the diagonal. So should I castle or not? Or should I bring my rook to d1 maybe first? Oh, I think I can castle. I want a castle. I really want to make sure that that my king is safe. I'm not afraid of this move. I think I can take it. I can take it either way, with a pawn or with a knight. I think it works. Okay, now I'm going to bring my rook. This is the place that rook belongs to. Okay, I see the problem. I don't want to play knight d4 because my knight's going to be pinned. So I will just move my king away. Okay, and now right now, how can I continue my attack? I can activate my knight. I have to make sure that opponent cannot push d5 forward. How many times opponent is supporting? 1, 2, 3, 4 times. I'm defending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, but cannot be 100% sure that it works. Yeah. So okay. So let's see what are my options here, because I decide to do the plan. I decide to attack in the middle using the d file towards this pawn. I can play knight to f4. It prevents this move. I can also remove that bishop. It does make some sense. Any other idea? I can play knight a4, but I don't see what's the benefit at the moment. I can double my rooks. I think I'm going to start with knight f4. Okay, so opponent wants to secure that bishop. What can I do right now? Knight a4. Okay, at least you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces are attacking this square. What to do? Okay, you know what? Maybe I will try to double rooks. But if I go there, there is potentially bishop h6. Maybe I have to move my queen first. But then opponent cannot go there. Okay, let's move my queen back. Bishop is protected at this time, and later I want to maybe move my rooks like this. Okay, queen c7, so I have to observe what opponent is trying to do. So my knight is not safe there. I can play bishop c1. Should I play this move or should I play something else? Because after d5 takes, queen takes. Oh, it's not good for me. I can also move my knight back, but I don't want it. Or I can move my knight here. You know what? Let's maybe play this move. I'm protecting this knight, and you can also see that my bishop is now more open. You know, in those positions, in that kind of positions, it's a we are going to maneuver for a pretty long time, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, my plan is to double my rooks, of course, at this moment. I want to double my rooks. Maybe later I want to play bishop to a3. And you can see that I can attack it here. What opponent is going to do here? Of course, now my queen is making an X-ray towards that queen. So in case opponent plays d5, I think I can just take it and that pawn is pinned. Okay, so opponent is moving back. 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces are controlling, 3 pieces are supporting. Okay, if I move my rook here, or now I can even go, because this move provokes knight d7, knight e5. So now I think I can go there, because this move doesn't work, because this is hanging. White has got a space advantage. And if you have got a space advantage, a good strategy is not to start your attack too quickly. Because if you start your attack too quickly, then opponent has got, it's much easier to play for black. But if I'm gonna maneuver my pieces, if I'm gonna improve my position, opponent that has got less space has got much less moves, much less options. So it's definitely harder to play in such positions for the opponent. And you can see this is the reason why opponent played very quickly at the opening, and now opponent is thinking definitely longer, as you can see. Because it's not so easy to it's not so easy to find anything. Okay, so opponent maybe wants to attack like this. I don't mind that. Opponent can do this. I'm gonna play it here. Okay, so that pawn is attacked twice. Okay, queen c7. So now d5 has got no chances. Maybe if I play there, what's gonna happen? Probably opponent will move there. Okay, opponent goes back. Maybe I can move my queen here. This is protected, and I have got two ideas. One idea, of course, it's attacking the knight. Another idea is that maybe I can move back my bishop and try to get the checkmate somehow here. And next idea is also I can also play something like this in some lines. I think it does make some sense. Our opponent cannot even play there because d6 is hanging. What opponent can do with this knight? That's actually a good question, because knight d7 I will take it. Knight where? h5 I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna destroy opponent's castle. You can see that such a pressure, it does make sense, because not only opponent is in trouble, but you can see opponent has got nothing to play. Okay, bishop goes back to g7. Of course, I have to make sure that it doesn't work, but can I, if I take it, opponent's gonna take it, probably takes and capture here. Of course, I cannot allow my opponent to do that. So then I have to move my queen somehow. Where to move my queen? To prevent the tactics. I can always go back to c2, so we are going to repeat moves. But now I need to think of some other traps. What is another trap that I can use? Queen c1 doesn't give me anything. Oh, I have got an idea. I go queen c1. Opponent will go back, because opponent has to protect it. And I'm going to play bishop b4. The idea is to bring my queen here to put even more pressure over the d6 pawn. And I will let my opponent play. And my bishop goes to this place. Queen goes there, and now you can see that that pawn is under attack. d5, okay, this is what happens so often if opponent is defending. Opponent wants to take take a breath, right, somehow. Opponent wants to get some counterplay. No one enjoys defending only. And I'm going to take it here, and I win a pawn. It happens, instead of attacking and taking risk with, because when you're attacking, you're always risking a little bit. You can just set up a very solid position, improve your position, and so often your opponent will try to attack you. And this is exactly what happened in this game. I was just stopping my opponents from having anything good, and you can see that I'm up a pawn. Of course, I'm not sure will I win this game, but definitely I have got the advantage. Knight is under attack. Where can I go? I mean, if I go there, okay, opponent still cannot take it. So knight d3 is one option. Another candidate move is here, but then opponent destroys my king. I don't want to allow my opponent to destroy my king. So let's play here. I don't like the fact that it's blocking here, but I think it's not a big problem, because you can see that there is an X-ray, and you can see that that queen is in trouble. Yeah, probably I can take it. I also have got an option to move my queen here or my knight here. Also, another idea that comes to my mind is to play rook c2. Okay, knight takes d5. This is desperation. Opponent is desperated. Okay, so now I'm up on the material. Of course, I don't mind to exchange rooks. Maybe I'll go here because I want to exchange, and I just want to simplify. I do not need any complications. Probably opponent will play here, trying to give me back rank checkmate. So where to move my knight? If I go there, it's a little bit risky. Let's move my knight to g1, just in case. I see that there is no back rank checkmate, but it's a prophylactic move, so I can move my piece later. Also, I can move this knight to e4. I can try to enter somehow. I still keep my check here. And you can see that my opponent is in a time trouble. And the opponent decided to resign. So this is the way how you take advantage of having more space.